Once we finish school, most of us don't have a clue about what our following step will be. Law, journalism, English? The only thing we are certain about is that we don't want to make a mistake. When you start telling your family that you want to be a teacher, the first thing that they ask you is why. Why would you choose a job that will probably consume your entire life, dedicating long hours to somebody else's spoiled child, marking tests, and dealing with angry parents? There is no doubt that English teaching is a hard job, but it is something that we came to appreciate and respect thanks to our teaching practicums. They gave us the possibility to be closer to what our future life will be. But just like teaching English is hard, learning it is also difficult. During our last teaching practicums, we came up with the idea of using games in order to facilitate the students' process of learning and to make the teaching process less difficult. In my personal case, I used games with students from 5th grade, and I honestly believe that I couldn't have made a better decision. While I was presenting the activities, the students were all eager to participate. They were all motivated and involved in their learning process. As Andrew Bright stated in an article called Games for Language Learning, language learning is hard work. Effort is required at every moment and must be maintained over a long period of time. Games help and encourage many learners to sustain their interest and work.
Nevertheless, there are always exceptions. Even though we spend a lot of time designing and creating our activities in order to engage all students, there are always those students who don't pay attention and don't want to participate. When you realize that, you ask yourself, what do I do now? Do I need to try another approach or something extra for them to participate in the lesson? During a 2nd grade class, the students were instructed to play with their hands and test their seat partner's knowledge of prepositions in, on, and under. But 2 students were just looking at the board, doing nothing. So to motivate them, I just started counting, taking their time and counting points, making it a competition, to which the students responded with enthusiasm. I started to play like their friends and classmates. It might not seem as a huge difference, but if students lose focus, it can affect the rest of the class and their own learning. These little things can change the entire aspect of your lesson to a more personalized one, attending to the individual differences of our students as effectively as we can. As it was stated in an article called Learning Vocabulary Through Games, games usually involve friendly competition and they keep learners interested. This creates the motivation for learners of English to get involved and participate actively in the learning activities. As you can see, even though it is true that teaching is not as valuable and well paid as it should be in our country, it is so much worth it when you see that your efforts have had an impact on your students, that you have accomplished your aim and that they have learned something that will be useful for the rest of their lives. Using games inside the classroom during the process of teaching and learning is a very good alternative. It helps to keep your student interested and motivated, and it makes the teaching process a lot less hard than it already is.
Created using Powtoon.